Hey guys, I'm Chef D-Max. Welcome back to my kitchen. Today we're going to do something kind of different, but fun and simple. And some of you had it before in restaurants. It is stuffed grape leaves. And we're going to do that with lamb. So it's kind of a Persian dish. Getting a little bit crazy today. But I think you guys are going to find this to be simple and super tasty at the end. So stay with me. If you're not following me, click subscribe, give me a thumbs up on this video, and ring that bell, and I'll let you know what's coming up next. See you soon. Hey guys, all right, we're back and we're gonna do these stuffed grape leaves. So the first thing you're gonna need is the grape leaves, right? I've got beautiful grape leaves. They come in this like briny, they come in a briny liquid. I love the flavor of that. I'm just gonna pour it out. But that liquid's pretty salty and it's very like vinegary and salty. So you kind of have to pull these out. Actually, not that hard to get out, but you try to kind of be gentle. You don't want to rip them because you got to, you have to take these leaves and wrap them with meat. So you can see right here, right, these big, beautiful grape leaves, right? Now, usually one jar like this, the recipe that I'm making makes, it uses up like one jar of those leaves. I don't rinse those at all. I just leave them like this. I'll show you what they look like. So some of them are bigger than others, but that's basically it right there. A nice grape leaf. So they're going to make a small, like little mini cigar style dish. And you can taste, they're tougher when they're all like that, but you can still eat them. But when we cook this whole dish together, they're going to get super tender. So let's make the meat next. So with the meat, I'm using lamb today. So this is the Strauss ground lamb. We've got lamb here. And what I want to do is I want to take it, and this is a 1 pounder. You can buy these in the grocery store. It's like all natural lamb. And for one jar, actually for 2 jars, it's 3 pounds. So for 1 jar, it's 1.5 pounds of meat. So I've got 1 pound here. I'm gonna stick that in my bowl, right? So I got 1 pound of meat in there. I'm gonna scrape every bit of that out I can get, okay? Like that, okay? Now, I'm only gonna use 1/2 pound of the other one, okay? So I'm going to squeeze that in there too. So I've got 1.5 pounds of meat. And I'm going to massage this meat with my hands. Now, when you're making, like a lot of times in Middle Eastern cooking, when they use the heat of their hand, you know, as they're massaging. So you want to wash your hands and clean your fingernails and do all those things before you work with your meat like this. But it smells so nice, right? So with this, I'm going to put in some salt. For that 1.5 pounds, I'm going to put in 1 tablespoon of salt. Now, I'm not going to go heavy salted on the inside of the meat right now because the grape leaves have been kind of like sitting in that salty, kind of acidic, vinegary mixture. So they're going to have savoriness to them as well. But you do want salt in there, so you got to put salt in there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take cinnamon, and I'm going to put cinnamon in here as well. So it's quite a bit of cinnamon. Cinnamon is the sweet spice in there that's really making this more of a Persian dish. It's that flavor that, you know, people, you know, I guess in American cooking, we don't think about putting cinnamon in meat, right? But it's going to give it this really great flavor. So we want to put a nice tablespoon of cinnamon in there as well. And that's going to be looking good. And I'm still going to massage it in really good. Now, I've got to have to wash my hands again because I want to put black pepper in this. And it's going to take 2 hands to grind. So I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back with my pepper. So I've got black pepper, and you want to have nice ground black pepper in this. And I'm putting a lot. You know, I put, you know, that's one of the flavors. There's only 3 spices. It's salt, ground pepper, and cinnamon. So I'm putting a lot of it. So I put a lot of black pepper, okay? And then we're gonna put rice in this, raw, yes, raw. So I've got jasmine rice. Jasmine's a super aromatic rice, and I keep all my rice. I don't like keeping plastic or boxes in my cupboard. So I put everything in mason jars. It keeps it really nice, keeps bugs out, keeps it from spilling around. You never know when those boxes that they, you know, have everything in when they come from the store, they could have had like little eggs of bugs and stuff, and then it puts it all in your pantry. So get rid of that stuff. Here I'm going to put for the recipe is for 3 pounds of meat, it's 16 ounces of rice, which is 2 cups of rice. This is 1 cup, 8 ounces, and that's for 1.5 pounds, and that's going to be for 1 jar. So this is perfect for this whole scenario. So with that, I'm going to put that in, and now I'm going to just massage that rice into this mixture, okay, like this. And all I want to do is keep mixing it in gently. I mean, this is a smaller bowl. I could have probably put it in a bigger bowl, but everybody makes mistakes. But, you know, because then what happens? See, they all start coming all over the place. And like, that kind of stuff bothers me because I'm like such, I guess, a person that, you know, tries to keep the kitchen clean at all times. And that's something you learn when you work in really good kitchens, is the fact that, you know, you should always keep your kitchen clean at all times. So with this, I've got my rice is in there, all packed in this meat, right? And from here now, I'm going to wash my hands again, and then we're going to wrap this in our leaves, okay? See you in a second. Okay, I'm back now, but here I've got my my rice, my cinnamon, salt, pepper, all inside of my ground lamb and massaged up nicely. You can see how it starts to emulsify the fat in the lamb itself. So what we're going to do next is we're going to take shoulder meat, and you can use pork shoulder, but that's not very, I mean, it depends what culture is doing it. Obviously, certain cultures don't use pork, so they wouldn't use pork in it, but I like using pork ribs in this as an alternate too. So you can alternate. Instead of lamb, you could do ground beef, and then you could use pork ribs instead of this lamb if you're not a lamb fan. But I like lamb, you know, certain types of year. I love lamb actually, but not just certain types of year, but certain types of year in the spring, you'll see lamb on sale a lot. So that's when I buy it. I buy it when it's on sale, because otherwise it can be very expensive and it's coming from different places. So you want to put salt on this nicely, right? So I've seasoned that nicely with salt. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do too is I'm going to put some white pepper on this one. I like the white pepper on the lamb for these two, as well as the black. I think they both have different flavors. But if you don't have white pepper in your household, then just use black. It's fine. I do think white pepper has a really nice flavor, and I'm getting down to the end of this. That's why I'm tapping it. So it's almost dead. So I'm going to use every last bit I can get out of there. Don't waste anything, right? Okay, so salt and pepper on this lamb. Now, what are these lambs? This is kind of a rib chop, and yeah, these are kind of from the shoulder. I'm sorry, not a rib chop, kind of a shoulder cut. Okay, so these are from the lamb's shoulder. Now, I'm going to dump this out, and I'm going to stick this lamb in the bottom of my pot, and this is going to be the base on which we build our our beautiful nest of, so what it looks like is this. It looks like this beautiful, beautiful kind of base of the pork with, you know, in our pot. And that, what we're going to do is roll these like cigars of, here you're going to see, of the ground lamb. So with this, I'm going to take just a little bit, right? Roll it in my hand, put it in here like this. And then I'm going to just roll it. I'm going to roll it and then toss it, kind of turn the ends in. This is the same way you would make a burrito. And then you roll it up. And you see what you get? You get this tight little cigar, right, of ground meat inside of the grape. Let me show you that again. So we have this beautiful grape leaf, right? Actually, you want to put the shiny side down of the grape leaf if you're really worried about your presentation, which it's always nice, right? So you don't want to make these too big either, because as they expand with the rice in there, it's going to expand when it cooks because it's raw now, right? You know that rice gets bigger, right? So with that, you're going to want to give it room to grow without busting the leaf out. So again, you're going to move the ends in like this. See how that's like that? So you have this little runway to roll. And we're going to roll it up beautiful like that. These beautiful cigars. Okay? So we're going to do that. I'm going to finish this all out. And then when it's done, I'm going to show you how we pack it back in there. And we'll be back in a second. Okay, we're back. I've got my lamb shoulder here in my pot. And I've got these beautiful, you can see my little stack of awesome grape leaves already wrapped up. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay these in here. You guys can see this gently in a spiral all the way around the top of my lamb. And what that's going to do is going to help keep them together. Like if they all stay tightly wrapped, right? We want them to stay tightly wrapped because they're going to expand as they're cooking, and as they expand, they're going to, want to break out. So we don't want them breaking out of there, right? We're not allowing them to break out of our package. So we've got these like really tightly wrapped. We want to pack them in here nicely. And that's going to keep them together and all warm and happy, right? Okay. You can see that they're packed in there nice like that. And then I'm going to just stack a few more on the top. Spiral around to try to keep them tight. Whoops. You don't want them to unravel because then you'll have all these exploded grape leaves in your dish. Now, I'll take them here. I'm going to finish out these last bit, right? So it's kind of level, like this. Now, I'm going to pour these and cover this with water. So once I've done that, I'm going to cover these with water. It's not salted water yet. Okay, and then I want to put this in this heavy, I got a plate here that fits perfectly in there, and that's going to help pass it. And I'm going to even put some water on top of that. Okay, and what that's going to do now is that's going to be, that weighted plate on there is going to keep pressure down on top of those to keep them from kind of like floating up and expanding and popping and stuff like that. So with this, I'm going to bring this to a boil. Once I bring it to a boil, then I turn it down to a simmer for about an hour. And then after that, I'm going to cut it off and let it cool slightly. And then I'm going to take that plate out and we're going to take a look and see what it looks like. So let's bring this to a boil. Don't let it go to a boil for long. You can't just disappear and not pay attention. You have to bring it to a boil. And as soon as it's about to boil, you're going to turn the flame down to a lower flame at a very light simmer. And then you're going to go ahead and you're going to cook it for an hour at that simmer. All right, so let's do that. Let's get it on the stove and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay guys, we're back. It's been about 2 hours and boom, we've got our beautiful grape leaves here. They look gorgeous. You can see in here, they're just, you know, nicely tucked away. I'm gonna lift them out and put them, actually, you know what, I'll put them in a bowl. I'll put them on this plate here. Let me do this. So what we can do here is these are nicely cooked now. You can see how they've kind of stuck together here, and they're super, they're firm. You can feel them, make sure they're firm. After an hour, you want to make sure they're firm. Before I tested one, before I would pull this off, if I were you at home, I would cook these. I would make sure that they're cooked through. So you just do that. You just break one open and taste the rice in there and make sure that it's cooked good. And then from there, you know, see, what you don't want is some of these, you know, like you want them to be in a nice tight package. So, I'm going to pull the rest of these out and then we'll take a look at it. Okay, I've taken them all out and I have another plate of them right there as well. So I've got 2 plates full. And now what I'm going to do is gently pull out this lamb. So the lamb, you can see, is cooked all the way here. Oops, it's falling off literally it's falling off the bone, right? So I guess that's what you want. You want it to fall off the bone. And that's how tender that is, right? So you can see this beautiful tender pork, or sorry, lamb. And then this juice in here, wow, that juice is fantastic. I'm gonna pour that in a bowl here. So I've got that poured it in my bowl. So you can see what that looks like. It's a very clean, it's just water, right? And the fat from all of that stuff and the little bit of the residual of the rice that's cooking in there and the fat that dripped out of the raw lamb meat, as well as the fat that was on this. And that's so good. I love the flavor of that. So now, to finish this up a little bit, what I'm going to do is take some dill, because I love dill. I love dill with lamb. But I'm going to take some dill, and I have some here. I'm just going to chop half of it, and I'll keep the rest. You can see I like to wrap it in paper towels, because it keeps it super moist. That's like a couple days old, and you just keep this a little damp and put it in your fridge. It stays really nice. So this dill, I'm just gonna cut it like this, and then just mince it up one time, one way, like that. Okay, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it in my little bowl here. Okay, and I'm going to take my lemon. I've got a beautiful lemon here. I'm going to put my lemon juice in there. Okay. Squeeze my lemon good. You can use a little juicer thing if you want. Then I have 1 garlic clove. And I want to cut the garlic. I cut the end off, the root end off like that, so it, you know, so you don't put that in there by accident, because what you want to do is mince this down. Now a lot of times I use garlic confit for stuff, but there's something about like the raw flavor of garlic with this. That's why you don't want too much, And this little clove, this clove here is actually a little bit too big. I'm going to cut it in half and see what it looks like inside. Sometimes if the center piece of the garlic is growing too much, I pull that out. Okay, and that can be a little bit bitter. So I pull that out, right? You don't have to do that. None of you guys are probably ever played with that, but inside the center of the garlic there, the little centerpiece there can be a little bit bitter. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to mince this up one way. Okay, and then I'm going to take my knife and flatten it and press it. I don't want any big chunks of garlic. I just want the garlic, almost a garlic paste. Now I have like a little plate that I can grate garlic on, and you guys have little garlic presses, whatever works for you. But seeing that it's only one little garlic clove here, I'm just going to mince it up by hand. So I'm just mincing it up really good, like that. And again, I'm going to press it to make sure there's no big pieces. And I'm going to cut it really small. And then that paste of garlic there, I almost don't even like to use all of that. Probably a teaspoon of it. That's what I'm calling it. 1 teaspoon of minced garlic. Okay, and then I've got some nice kind of Greek style yogurt. If you wanted to use labna would be better, which is, you know, like a goat milk yogurt, it would be good. You know, that would be amazing. Yeah, it's a little bit, that would be a little smoother. But this regular yogurt like this with, it's got a little bit of dill, it's got a little lemon, and it's got a little bit of, now I'm going to put a teaspoon, I've got some salt back there, probably half a teaspoon of salt, and I'm going to put a little squirt of olive oil in it too. And I'll leave the olive oil over here because I'm going to probably dress this up too. So with this, what I'm looking for is a beautiful creamy sauce to go with this. It's our yogurt sauce. And the yogurt is very acidic with the lemon. Fresh dill garlic, that's it. I mean, the only thing else you need is black pepper. Boom. It's a lot of black pepper in our dish anyway. So let's try it, right? So to serve this, put a couple of these on a plate for everybody, a little stack of 3. And give them a nice scoop of beautiful yogurt sauce, right? And then I would just take some of this meat, pull it off, or just cut it off the bone like this, so you don't give anybody any bones. And then just rough chop it up this lamb and put that lamb on there too. And that's it. Let me clean the board and we're going to look at it. Okay, I'm going to put this over here like that, and then I'll just drizzle a little olive oil around it. How beautiful is that? We've got our wonderful lamb here wrapped in grape leaf with rice, cinnamon, salt, black pepper. We've got this beautiful yogurt. The yogurt's super fresh. You taste that with that gently cooked lamb. That's amazing. You can see how tender my grape leaves are. Oh, wow. Sometimes I impress myself, but anyway, really good. You guys got to try this. Super simple. You can get all this stuff at a generic grocery store, guaranteed. And you want to the only work is it just takes about an hour to simmer that really lightly. It's not a big deal. The grape leaves, you can actually wrap them ahead of time. Then they can sit in the fridge till you wait to cook them if you want to do them at different times. But it's a really good dish, and it's a really good flavor. And if it's something you never tried, just try it. Why not? So I hope you liked it. Give me a thumbs up if you did, and I'll see you back in the kitchen soon. I'm Chef Dean Max.